One of the biggest concerns with Hurricane Milton is storm surge. The National Weather Service forecasting life-threatening storm surge levels here. So the basics. A storm surge is a rapid rise in water levels caused by strong winds pushing water onshore. In parts of Florida, we're talking 12 to 15 feet of water from this storm in a surge. And I want to give you an idea of what that really means beyond just the numbers. This shows you a storm surge of about 2 feet. At this level, low-lying coastal roads would be inundated with water. The next stage would be a surge of 5 to 8 feet. This is enough to submerge cars. But remember, Milton is expected to bring much worse, storm surge of 10 plus feet in places. And this is taller than a city bus. The average first floor of a commercial building is typically around 14 feet high, and Milton's storm surge could reach a foot higher than that. So it is impossible to know with certainty at this point where this is all going to hit and when. But the places that are facing these catastrophic levels of surge are from Tampa on south. We're talking Sarasota, Venice, Port Charlotte, Punta Gorda. This is how high it could get there. And when you see the surge, this surge in relation to just an average human in a normal sized room, it is clear why officials are saying get out now.
Yeah, and Kate, even with warnings like that and demonstrations like that, there are some people who are choosing to ride out the storm. With us now is Bridget Stone Budd, who lives on Sanibel Island. And we should note, Sanibel was cut off from Hurricane Ian. I mean, you've been through things like this before, yet you were choosing to stay with storm surges that could reach well over 10 feet. Why'd you make that decision?
We don't really make a decision each time. It's just, we just don't leave. We just don't leave our home.
Why not?
We haven't on any of them. Charlie, Irma, Helene, Ian.
Why do you choose to stay? Why is it important for you to stay?
I think the most important thing is that we know we won't be able to get back. That's the number one reason. Number two is for us, we would rather withstand the storm than live in an arena with 100 or 1,000 people, or in motels, hotels with 3 dogs. It's just something that we've never. I don't want to say we don't fear the storm. We certainly fear the storms and the hurricanes. We just choose to ride it out. We just do. We've been through. Ian was. Charlie was the first one I went through in 2004, and then Ian was definitely the worst because of the surge that we had never gotten before, and we at this point had the highest of 12-foot surge, and I know that our house can withstand it, so it's just a matter of when I finish up with you today, I've got to finish bringing everything up to our upper level.
Yeah, talk to me about that. Where are you sitting right now? 12 feet of storm surge. Would that come up to where you are? How do you prepare for something like this?
Everything goes in my house, into the living room. So, I've got lots of product, etc., downstairs. Our porch that my husband built, we live out here. We live out here on the porch, and I mean, we have a house inside, but so the water with Ian came up to where our feet are on here. So the surge came all the way up to the bottom of our porch. So our home, we got the sea spray and that kind of damage, but we didn't get the surge in our home up here.
It could come in even higher this time. What does worry you the most?
What worries me the most? I think what worries me the most, even though I don't think it will happen, but what worries me the most is like losing a pylon, because I look at what has happened for Helene, those houses that got swept away down rushing waters. I feel safe up here on our stilted home, but if we were to lose a pylon and the house wasn't sturdy, that scares me the most. What used to scare me the most was the surge.
Listen, Bridget Stone Budd, we do wish you the best. I know that you try to help out with others who stayed. You did after Ian. Again, just wish you the best. Please stay safe over the next 24 hours.
Moments ago, Orlando International Airport has suspended all commercial operations. It is the latest in what has now become a long list of Florida airports to have to shut down as Hurricane Milton is barreling towards the state. People planning to ride out the storm now only have hours to gather any last supplies, and they really need to hunker down no matter where they are. Let's get over to CNN's Victor Blackwell. He's in Orlando, where also conditions seem to be deteriorating. What are you seeing and what are you hearing from people there?
Yeah, Kate, there's been some steady rain here for several hours and the steady stream of people coming to this Home Depot right off I-4 to get the last minute supplies, the flashlights, the plywood, the battery, generators. I spoke with the manager of this store just a couple of minutes ago, and he says that they have not run out of those supplies, but this store will be closing at 3 p.m. as the worst of Milton comes ashore. And this really is an interesting place in Florida where you have both people who are trying to get away from this part of the state. Tourists from all over the world are here for the parks, but also evacuees who've come here from those Zone A evacuation spaces, the Tampas, the St. Pete, to get away from the storm surge. Now in Orlando, storm surge really is not the major concern. There will be hurricane force winds here, so there will be downed trees and power outages are certainly expected. It is the flooding, it's the rain. And so Central Florida can handle a rainy day, maybe better than other parts of the state, but it's the amount of rain, up to 15 inches forecast for this area, and the storm water control systems, the streams, Lake Davis, which flooded heavily in isolated communities in Ian in 2022, just cannot accommodate that. So city workers have been out trying to clear the drains, prepare for all this rain. We know that Orange County has opened several high schools and elementary schools for shelters. They've had sandbag operations for several days, although those have ended now. We know that Mayor Buddy Dyer will be working at the top of the hour, his meeting with the emergency operations managers to make sure that the city is prepared for the worst of the storm. The EOC is going to be opening at 4 o'clock, and they'll be around the clock ready to respond to any of those emergencies. But fire and rescue, once those winds get too strong, about 40 miles per hour consistent, sustained winds, they will not be able to go out and respond to some of those emergencies. So they're standing by, preparing. This is a choreographed dance that they do, but not for a storm of this size and strength in a very long time. Kate?
Yeah. Victor, thank you so much for being there.